Hi, I'm Derica.
I'm Brian.
And you're watching City Steading.
My glass is empty.
Brian's glass is empty.
It's growing on me, though.
What do we do on our days off? We work for you and drink alcohol, apparently.
This is what we do for work. That's an awesome intro. Anyway, so today what we're doing is we're going to do a tasting of our Black Cherry Hooch. Even put it in the hooch bottle. Got the mason jars. These are little ones, but we're not having much. No jinx, not now.
We're being dainty.
All right, I guess because this is a down home one. We can have Jinx anyway. This is Jinx, isn't he pretty?
Hi, Jinx.
He drools, so we're gonna keep him away from the bottles. But anyway, what we have here is Black Cherry Plum, and this is a little bit of an unusual video for us because this is a finished product. I bottled it today. I didn't show you any of the steps leading up to it. I know, I'm a horrible person, but the point of this is, if you watched our basic hard cider video, which I'm going to link here, this is essentially the exact same thing. I added a little bit of sugar. I actually did it in a gallon, so I used 2 of these, and I added 2 cups of sugar, the yeast, and that's it. Let it sit. Now this was startled. Wow, I was startled. It was started on May 11th, 2018, and Jinx is totally thinking his closet. It was started on May 11th, 2018, okay? And we just bottled it today. We have not tasted it. I did smell it. I don't want to give anything away, but I did smell it. Anyway, the reason this was made is Derica's dad comes over and hangs out with us and plays in the dirt with Derica a lot. And he really loved this stuff, and we loved it. We just tried it one time.
I'm going to interject right here. You all need to thank Terrell Lee Smith.
Oh, yeah.
Because if it wasn't for him, our greenhouse
raised
wouldn't have
garden.
been built. The chicken coop wouldn't have been built. The raised garden bed, which is extra fancy, would have not been built.
Yeah.
It's all thanks to him.
The awesome little bridge we have too.
Yay, Daddy.
Anyway, yes, Terry did an amazing job. He's awesome. And he's 73 and in better shape than I was in my 30s. Unbelievable. He kayaks and surfs at 73. We worry about him sometimes, but he does.
He's a legitimate retired rocket scientist.
Yep.
That actually came out on a family cruise where the comedian made a joke about Moses probably being a retired rocket scientist.
Yeah.
We all laughed.
We were in the front row too, which is a bad thing for me to be in.
The comedian was a little upset
he didn't know what to do.
His joke got ruined because it was the truth.
He really didn't know what to do. It was funny. Anyway, so back to this. So the Black Cherry Plum stuff. We've been drinking this and adding it to, if you watched our photo video, you might recognize it because that's what I make my photo with. And I love this stuff. It tastes really, really good. It's got this nice sweet, Black Cherry Plum, okay, whatever. It tastes good. I don't care what they call it. So I kept saying, I got to make something with that. I got to make something with that. Well, when I finally did it, I was like, what am I going to call this? Technically it's wine, okay? But I'm going to call it hooch. Because Derek has been calling everything I've been making hooch, and I think that's a derogatory term in some ways, a little bit lower class maybe than I want it to be. So I don't like to call it that, and she refers to like my Ardbeg as hooch. I mean, come on, Ardbeg is not hooch. But anyway, so when we bottled this, put it in the hooch bottle.
We're embracing the hooch aspect.
And we got it in mason jars.
So we got our tape label, our hooch bottle.
The tape label is a thing.
Our mason jars.
Now this was made back on May 11th, 2018. It was bottled today, just about an hour ago. No racking, no fancy stuff, no bentonite, no chemicals. Well, chemicals, of course. No additives, no preservatives, no nothing. It actually is pretty clear. That is not, I'm not worried about that. That's got a little bit of cloudiness, but, is it cloudy or is it just thick? It's hard to say. I don't know. I'm going to say it's clear. It came out at 11.8% ABV, so technically it's a wine. It's a black cherry wine. Okay, so let's start with the tasting.
So it has been pointed out to us, and we are so sorry for being not up to par with this standard, but Brian tends to toast us at the very beginning, and then we start talking.
It's bad luck.
It's bad luck.
So we're not doing that.
So we're not going to toast until we're actually ready to drink.
The first thing I want to point out is if you look at this and you look at this, see the color difference? I don't know. I mean, this has no added colors or flavors from what I can see here. But, I mean, here's what's in this. Filtered water, apple juice concentrate, aronia berry. I never heard that. Grape juice concentrate, citric acid, cherry juice concentrate, plum juice concentrate. I'm thinking this is a whole lot less cherry than apple because it's mostly apple. So it should taste a lot like a cider that's flavored with some fruit. And I thought, okay, that's cool. There's no preservatives in here. There's no sorbates or anything like that. So it's totally fine to make it. We got it from Aldi, but you can use anything that doesn't contain sorbates. And, you know, if you find a juice mixture that you like, try it. Why not? So the first thing I notice is the color. It's a little disappointing, to be honest. I mean, I'm not really thrilled with that.
The color does not read cherry to me.
It reads apple cider.
Well, or
that looks like apple cider.
Apricot. It's kind of pinky cider, so I would say apricot.
Looks a lot like the sizer we just did.
That is my art side peeking through there. I saw a meme recently that said normal people's colors and then artists' colors.
Oh, yeah.
And the normal people's colors were like green, yellow, blue, and the artists' people's colors were like...
crazy.
My type of colors, so...
Yeah.
So this is apricot in color.
On the footy scale.
This bad boy's got some foot.
It's like a foot and a toe. That's where I'm at. Now, just to give you an idea, 2 feet or 10 toes is the maximum. That's pretty much unpalatable. Like, you can't... it's almost undrinkable.
This is definitely not there.
No.
But it...
anything past 1 foot, though, is kind of...
it is showing
iffy.
some feet.
Yeah. I don't remember what yeast I used for this. I probably should have taken notes.
Honestly, I think part of the reason why the foot note is hitting us so strongly in the scent is that it's hard to place what the other scents actually are. And I think that's attributed to the combination of the different fruit juices in our original juice mixture.
It smells more like apple cider than it does cherry, though.
If you watched the racking and tasting of the simple cider, you'll notice that I mentioned that I didn't notice as many footnotes as Brian did because I was really getting that apple scent. And I think that's part of the problem I'm having with this one is that I'm not getting a specific scent that my brain is telling me it smells like this. So it's just making me go, it smells kind of like feet.
We probably should just taste it.
Okay, we can toast now if we're gonna taste. It's loud.
Sláinte. It tastes so much better than it smells.
It does, but
it's there though.
When you pull it back to drink it, if you take a big inhale like I just did, man, that foot just kind of smacks you in the face, and it's not very friendly about it either.
I'm getting a berry. I don't know that it's really.
I wonder if it's that weird berry.
I think it's the Aronia berry. There's also an astringent, like in the back.
Aronia berry.
Yeah.
Aronia. I'm gonna have to look that up.
What the heck's an Aronia berry?
I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, and who would think to put it in? It's in above the black cherry, which means there's more Aronia berry than cherry. They should call it Aronia berry, cherry, plum.
And on a side note, that's a fun thing to do whenever you are getting fruit juice at the store. Look at the ingredients, and
it's not a fun thing. That's a disappointing thing. If I'm
Okay.
buying cherry, I want cherry. Not
You say
Aronia
disappointing,
berry.
I say fun. It's all a matter of perspective.
Yeah.
But more than likely, when you get a fruit juice, it's the top ingredient is probably not going to be the fruit that you're expecting.
I want to try something with this. This went to 1.000. If you understand what that means it's completely neutral gravity. It went dry. There's no sugars left. I actually taste a little residual sweetness here. I don't know if
Now
that's
that I'm smelling it again, I'm actually smelling sweetness. I think it's almost
it smells
cherry,
a little sweet.
Like almost cherry.
Almost cherry. Wow, black cherry.
I know, but
something I want to try.
Okay.
We have. If I can get it out.
Yeah, now that I'm
simple syrup.
Now that I'm smelling it again, I've gone past the foot. and I'm on to fruit.
It's fruity. I definitely get fruity. I get a berry. I don't know that I get cherry so much. I get like a mixed berry. I don't get plum at all.
I don't know.
It's not bad. I mean, I could drink this. I'm actually willing to take my 1 foot, 1 toe down to like 4 toes.
I think the initial thing is that your brain is just
What's
confused
your footy
and
rating?
saying that it's foot, but now I'm way low on the foot scale, even in scent.
What's your footy? What's your number?
2 toes.
Ooh, she's saying 2.
2 toes.
I'm saying 4. I'm holding firm at 4. I was originally at 6.
But I think it's because my brain is really trying to figure out what that fruit note is, and it keeps coming to cherry. But
I don't get cherry.
But is it like apple cherry?
I'm getting like an apricot apple.
I'm not getting apricot.
I totally get apricot. But what I want to try, this is simple syrup, which, if you know what simple syrup is, it's basically just a concentration of sugar and water. And it's colored because I use cane sugar that's a little bit of molasses in it. I'm just going to add a little squirt to mine. I'll put it in Derica's too if she wants.
Yeah. When I taste it, I'm getting an off flavor that I'm not finding overly appealing. It's almost...
Yep. That's the apricot.
Astringent.
Yeah.
Fun fact, our first attempt at fermenting something that we had grown was actually a starfruit wine.
I have tried very hard to not ever mention this.
I went there. I totally went there.
This is not something I'm proud of.
This stuff was so...
Okay, first...
odd?
I screwed it up so bad. Here's what I did. I used a 1 gallon container and I used an entire package of yeast. And the thing just exploded. It was like yeast everywhere. There was fibers. We used our juicer to make it and put the pulp in. Thinking, oh yeah, more juice, right? No, don't do that. Don't ever use the pulp when you juice something. Please, I beg you, don't do it.
It's such a better idea to use whole fruits or mushed fruits, but don't
do the pulp.
Don't do the pulp. It's just a mess.
We ended up getting like 5 times more carambola and starfruit than what we used that time. And we actually have some frozen still for next year. I'm going to try it again. And I might even make a video on it.
But this initial fermentation,
it was bad.
We tried it. We did not like it at all. We could not find any redeeming flavors in this. And then we let it sit.
Got marginally better.
So we're like, okay, what else are we going to want to make? We're going to make vinegar. So hey, this doesn't taste good.
So we made vinegar.
It should be fine as a vinegar.
It still wasn't good as a vinegar.
It still wasn't good as a vinegar.
I used it to make something. What did I do? Or did I clean something with it?
I really don't know. I think we've pushed this so far out of our memories that we're just like, that does not exist.
We do have a starfruit tree, carambola is what it's called. And I am going to try again next year. We're going to look at when the fruit is its ripest, so it's its sweetest. The problem is there's not a lot of sugar in it. And I didn't add any sugar to that fermentation because I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I literally took that juice and the pulp, threw it in a thing, poured a whole thing of yeast in it, put an airlock on it and said, have at it. And that's about how good it came out. It was awful. On the foot scale, I think that was a foot and 4 toes. A foot and 2 feet.
At least.
No. When you get to the 2 feet mark, that is garbage. You throw that down the drain. Which we did throw it down the drain.
It's true.
We did. We dumped it. I only dumped one other ferment, and that was because the juice was bad. All right, so now we've added a little simple syrup to this. I'm betting you the smell doesn't change because sugar doesn't have a smell. Nope, still smells the same, which means it smells a little bit astringent, kind of like apricots to me. On the taste, much more palatable. It actually tastes like a Sizer. It kind of does. Got a little sweetness in there, and I taste a lot of fruit, an apple-y kind of thing. I get like an apple berry cider mix, kind of.
This does taste a lot better with the simple syrup added.
Yeah, I can totally drink this.
I'm still getting that weird astringency.
I'm going to blame that aronia berry.
I don't know. We're going to have to research this aronia berry because...
Yeah, I'll probably have some little piece of paper that flies up and tells you about aronia berries. I don't love this. I'll be honest. This is not my favorite thing that we've made.
We had high hopes for this because we love this juice. Okay, I had high hopes for this because I love this juice.
Yeah, I wanted it to be good, but
but would I repeat this in the future?
No.
Probably not.
No. I don't think there's enough flavor in the juice to really carry over. I think a lot of it just fermented out.
But do I consider this a failed experiment?
Oh, no. I'm going to bottle this. We're drinking
Not
this.
at all. We are going to drink this because...
Probably from mason jars, just because it's hooch.
It's not terrible. It's
Right.
just not wonderful.
This
And
also
of course,
brings me to a... Oh, sorry, go.
we have to preface this that if you haven't seen the racking and tasting of the Simple Slicer, we just came off of that. Like, we literally
and that was good.
just finished that. And it was so delightful and refreshing
that we drank another half of a 12-ounce bottle of it.
that now that we're drinking this, it's kind of like...
This is a little bit of a letdown. If we had tried this first, we might have liked it a little bit better, but I like to think that we're pretty good with the palate thing. This is okay. I mean, if I had to give it a star rating, it's like a 4. You know, it's drinkable.
I'm still searching for what it tastes like, though. And I think it's making my brain hurt.
It tastes like Black Cherry Hooch. Anyway, I wanted to touch on something. Somebody asked if I backsweeten, and I said no, but I actually do sometimes. Like what we just did now, I'll add simple syrup. I won't put simple syrup in here, though, because if I put this on ice, it might taste better. I would think chilled, this will probably taste a lot better.
If any of you are whiskey drinkers, you will know that there are
multitudes of ways.
Air soluble and water soluble alcohols, and water soluble
flavors.
Okay. Water soluble flavors, when added just a little drop of water or ice, will help those flavors come forward. So rather than watering it down, it'll actually intensify the flavor. We have no idea if that will be true in this case.
Right. Well, I mean, this isn't a distilled product, so they're kind of different in that way. But you have alcohols, you have fusel oils and fusel alcohols. You have all that kind of stuff in here. You have some stuff that's actually really, really harmful for you, but in very trace amounts, and they all add to the flavors. So the way you bring those out makes an alcohol work better or worse, and that's why some things that are really, really, really dry can still taste kind of sweet. The fusel alcohol actually makes, I think it's the fusel, somebody's going to tell me, makes things taste, the wood alcohol, that's what it is, which is not fusel, it's similar, actually makes things taste a little sweet. And there is always, always, always a certain amount of fusels, wood alcohols, and things like that in any brew. Anything you buy, anything you make, they're all in there. There's no way to take it out. When you distill, you remove the heads and the tails, and you keep the hearts. Well, most of the wood alcohols and the fusels are all in the front and in the very, very, very end. But when you make something like this, there's trace amounts of that stuff. And when you distill, you might take this whole bottle and make it down to like that much. So it concentrates all those things. So you want to throw those away, or else it's very dangerous. However, if you drank like 4 or 5 of these yourself, you'll probably have a hangover. But you'll probably be passed out too. This is still not like weak stuff. Okay, that'd be 6 liters of wine, basically. That's a lot of wine for one person to drink. The amount that you'd have to drink to actually get damage from the stuff that's in there, you'd black out from drunkenness before that would happen. I'm no doctor, but this is just what I've read and what I've heard.
It would be interesting to pair this with foods. I'm wondering if there is a food type, like a cheese, like I was thinking about that, a specific cheese.
A strong cheddar.
That would make this be more palatable, would bring out more of the fruitiness. And
the one thing I want to say though, it's a strong flavor. It's not a weak flavor. It's not watery at all. It's actually strong. And that's why
my brain is trying to figure out what is that flavor.
It's aronia berry.
It's probably aronia berry.
And we probably don't like aronia berry. But anyway, like I said, this is like a 4 out of 10, which means if I went to a friend's house and they said, "Hey, I'm going to pour some of this Black Cherry Hooch for you," I would drink it, and I'd probably go back for 3rds and maybe even 4ths. I'd probably put it on ice, and I'd probably want a little simple syrup in it. Anyway, what I was getting at with simple syrup, I don't put it in here because that can restart a fermentation and explode this bottle. I don't want to do that. So instead, I take it on a case-by-case basis. I just pour it a little in here, and I said, okay, maybe a little sugar water, a little simple syrup. Put it on ice. Might be different. Might not need this. Might want some anyway. You never know. That way, this can become many different things. You can also mix this with more of this and get a sweeter product that has more of the cherry juice. It'll also be a little less alcohol, so you can drink more, and it actually might taste really good. If we had more time in this video, I would totally be doing that.
But I have a feeling we've rambled on enough as it is.
We got to be at like 12 minutes already for a tasting. But anyway, we love you guys, and that's why we wanted to do this. If you're curious how to make this, really, watch the basic hard cider video and just substitute hard cider or substitute apple juice for this. I'm going to make a lot of videos like this in the future where we talk about different juices and using different things. And it's not just what you make with it, it's what you do afterwards that changes it too. We're going to have a triple flavor cider coming up real soon that you'll get to see how one cider can turn into many different things. And I just think that's awesome.
We're also going to continue our experimentations with mead.
Oh, yeah.
One of which
I have an idea for
is
mead.
Very exciting. So keep your eyes peeled for that one.
Oh, yeah. Anyway. If you like this video, and I hope you do, give it a like. Enjoy.
Cheers.
Clink, clink.
It's growing on me.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, if you want to learn to grow and brew and take control of your food, don't forget to hit the subscribe icon down below and hit the little bell next to it. That way you get notified of everything we do.